guest in. Georgia Sinabas network is really poor. We hope that by the time we finish with the OXFAM Female Food Hero 2016, she's live on with us. Her name is Ihoma Peace Chijioke. She was on channels recently, and she sent out a cry for help to the federal government, saying, "Do it fast. There could be a food crisis in Nigeria if nothing is done." Welcome to Factual Chat with Debby. Ihoma Peace Chijioke. Nice to have you on.
Thank you, Debbie.
So tell us,
I'm glad to be with you.
How is it for the farmers at this time? What are their fears? What are their worries? And what are they looking up to happen to them at this time from the federal government?
Our fears, our worries are much. The truth is that our government is not even ready to help. Even if they try to help in their own little way, the people under them slashes. I was telling somebody that I say this help is like a football team. The first person that gets the ball is the leader or the team leader, passes to the next person. But you see that in our country now, when you pass to the next person, that person uses knife to cut the ball a little and put in his pocket and pass to the next person, and the person cuts. By the time it will get to the farmer or to the final user, nothing is left again. The government gives money to train farmers, like 100 farmers. The end trainees or trainers end up training only 10 or 15 people and pocket the other. So there are many things to talk about in Nigeria, but the government should stand up. Though sometimes when they release such money, they will some farmers will get some inputs or anything that will help them in their process and production. But our government should learn how to, whether I would say let them increase their help, one, then two, let them stand by their words. This loan they are giving to farmers, to tell you the truth, I have not seen a farmer, unless you have somebody at the top there, unless you have somebody at the top that is ready to collect the loan for you. But for me, I have not seen a farmer. And the rigorous steps to the loan, it's another thing. As a farmer, there are things you don't expect me to leave my farm or leave my work to come and do. You expect a farmer, I want to collect loan from NISAL or any of the office. I will go to NISAL office. I will meet them. After meeting with them and talking with them, they will tell me to go and get an off-taker that will off-take my goods. I will go about looking for an off-taker. I will get the off-taker. I will go and get somebody that will supply the chemicals and the fertilizers, the inputs. By the time I finish doing all those things, I might waste 2 years looking for a loan of 250,000 naira. Why don't I go to my farm and forget about the loan? This CBN, anchor borrowers, AGMS, it has been, I will not say it's a fraud, but it has been very frustrating. It has been very, very frustrating. I was telling some, the other day I went for a radio program. They said CBN is celebrating 80% achievement in anchor borrower. I asked the presenter of the program, I said, can you, if you can give me, just go to one of the local villages, ask, don't bother, just enter the market, ask 50 people and see if you will get 2. I didn't say 10, 2 of the farmers or anybody that has been able to get this loan. So who is deceiving who? Is it our government or is it the people working for the government? Who is deceiving who? If they don't want to help, they come out and say, we don't want to help. We will do it anyhow that we do it, no problem. If there's food on the table, no problem.
In other words, ma'am, you're saying that all the news that we've been hearing that monies are awarded to farmers in form of loans, soft loans with very little interest rates, they're all false. Then secondly, you're also the coordinator of Women Farmers Multipurpose Cooperative. And I think the cooperative has to do with people coming together to see how they can support one another, which will be the best way the government can reach the farmers if they actually wanted to help, you know. Yes. So if you are sitting with President Muhammadu Buhari, in 2 minutes, can you rate his programs for farmers so far? And can you advise him at this time what can avoid a food crisis. At this time, as we get ready, he might announce today that the lockdown is gone and people can go back to their normal life. Are we going to have an inflation in prices of food because very few farmers have produce to sell, or very few farmers can go back to farm as they've eaten up all their proceeds already? You know, how many farmers can go back and resume business? Can you talk to the president? Say you're talking to the president right now, and I am the president of Nigeria. Talk to me.
Okay. If I am to be in the presence of the president now, number one thing to tell him is he has to use, if he can use the non-governmental organizations, the NGOs, or he go to farmers cooperative, he use the farmers cooperative. Let them get this loan, these things that they say they are giving, let them get it down to the cooperatives. Now, when they want to do election, they don't fumble. They get to the grassroots. Then why is it that immediately after elections, they don't know the grassroots again? Everything is done on air. They can't tell me they don't know how to get to the grassroots. They know. And if they really want to get to the grassroots, they know how to get them. If they stand up and tell me that they don't know how to get, it's a big lie. During campaigns, they get to the grassroots. They campaign in the grassroots. Then during issue of things, the promises you made, you won't get to the grassroots again. You don't know them again. Next thing, tell us they don't have cooperatives. We have cooperatives, a lot of them. We are cooperatives, registered cooperatives under the government, pay the government to register in different area councils, different local governments. But when you want to give out things, you don't give out, you give it at the top. The people at the top will hijack it. There are political farmers. The political farmers hijack it, and that is all. Then you say farmers don't pay back loan when it has not really gotten to the farmers. So they should look for a way to get to these farmers. They know how to get them. If they want to use their cooperative, they can use the cooperative societies. They get to them. If they want to use these international organizations that are working with farmers, they use them, they get to them. And let everything go down so that when you get to a local farmer in the village, if he or she has fertilizer, if I am to buy 2 bags of fertilizer for my farming period this year, and the government gives me 1, I will buy 1 and I'll use the other to extend my land. So that is it. And other things, we have a lot to talk about. If it comes to farming and you have eaten, anybody that says if you have not eaten, you cannot be happy. So when you are happy, you are healthy. Before we talk of COVID-19, somebody must be healthy to talk of COVID-19. You must be healthy to talk of COVID-19. And when you're talking of somebody that is healthy has eaten. And if you have eaten, what do? You thank a farmer. Because what the farmers see on the field to provide food, it's not what it's. I don't think our government should play with it. Ordinary, the Maputo Declaration that our government signed into, the Maputo Declaration that was signed into 10 years ago, up till now, Nigerian has not been able to queue into that thing. Just 10% of your income on of your budget on agriculture. We have not been able to do that. But a small country like Burkina Faso is giving 15% to agriculture. Which way? Well, how do we want to feed? Are we talking about this headers farmers clash? That is another one, another talk for another day that will make sure that if we don't look for a way to stop this clash, 2021 will be very hot for us.
So what is the present situation now of food supplies from farm? If you want to rate it at this time of the lockdown, you know, during this COVID period, what has it been like for the farmers? You understand? And then just rounding off your points, basically tell us what you see happening if nothing is done to assist farmers at this time to go back to their farms and reproduce and replant. You understand? At this time, what will happen in the next farming season? Or what will happen in the next cultivation season when it's time for harvest? Please, can you quickly just round off in like 2 minutes?
Okay. What happened during this COVID-19 issue? Farmers have eaten up their reserve. Normally, a local farmer, when he or she farms, he removes small portion for next year farming. But as I'm talking to you, and sells the others. But as I'm talking to you, due to you can't go out, you can't buy food, people eat what they have. So now, with the lockdown, you can't get seed, you can't get fertilizer. The farming season is here. How are you going to cope? So I don't know how they expect us to cope. Now, the inputs they give us sometimes are subsidized rates. We've not seen any. We are still waiting for them. And they are telling me, I made a call yesterday asking one of the staffs how far. He said they are working on it. I asked him, is it the actual time for people to work on this year's farming season when the rains are here? He said, Madam, I should wait. I said, okay, no problem. We are waiting. So if they don't do anything and fast, it's not just doing anything, he's doing it fast. If they don't do anything and fast, I want to tell you now, in Nigeria, you will see that cassava is very expensive now. Every cassava product is expensive. Why? Immediately you have cassava, cassava stays long in the farm. Immediately you have it in the farm. These herders eat it. They feed their cows with it. So our main source of food in Nigeria is cassava and rice. Now cassava is half the way. Rice too, if you don't monitor it from time to time, if weevils don't eat it, cow eat it. So what we are going to face next year, we are talking of inflation, we are talking of high price, this, that. We should be prepared for next year. We should really be prepared for next year, because the way it is going, if the harvest are not, if the farm is not properly, if agriculture now is not properly handled, maybe we might be left with maybe eating only cows or fish and poultry. The crop side, maybe we'll forget it.
Okay, let's just quickly take the comments and questions at this point concerning the agricultural matter you're talking about before we bring on George Asinaba to give his roundup, and then we'll call it a day today. Okay, I don't know whether this one is linked to George Asinaba, Nesra Bank. When he comes, we'll take that question, we'll take that comment, but let's go to the ones that are linked to the agro discussion we're having. Ndu James Okere says, can government relax taxes this period of recovery? I think that's for the SMEs. Let's go. I think I'm trying to get the ones that are just for farmers. James Okere again. He says, so what we have in Nigeria is audio farmers loan and audio SME loans too. Whoa. Okay, and then he says again, President Debby, meaning to, because I said, imagine I was the president, okay? So he's trying to talk to me. He said, politicians forget their grassroots skills immediately the campaigns and elections are over, which you confirmed yourself. Okay, so thank you very much. I didn't quite see any question here. They are all just contributions, but it's just round off on this farmers issue. We know how important agriculture is. And to think of the fact that all this while, what the federal government seems to be patting themselves on the back with is that they've been doing a lot in the area of helping the farmers, move from subsistency farming to what they call a cash crop farming, where we would have enough to use in the country and enough to export, and not just when someone just farms to eat. But from what you are saying, being that practically you are a farmer and you know what happens as a farmer, you see what you explained to us, how you have to go through a whole lot of stuff to assess a 240,000 naira loan, when you know that 2 years is enough for you to actually plant and harvest enough to earn that money, and you would not even need them at the end of the day. So which farmer will go through that stress? We won't just stop here. From our extracts, news will be breeding up. I advise news stations to listen to this show, because we'll be coming up with solutions right here. And so I advise you, if you're a broadcaster or a newscaster, you're a media firm, I advise that you listen to this show, because from here you get points to stir the news and tell the federal government it is time we stopped the audio or the promises or that they're like mirage. The more you look, the less you see, and fake promises. Thank you very much, Ihoma Peace, Chijoke, for your time. I must say that keep doing the best you can from your angle as a farmer, and do your best to see that something is done. Cry out enough to them. Come together and let them have a press conference of an outcry saying that this is not what we want at this time. We want solution. And I believe that the federal government will hear the noise is loud enough. We're going to try our best from here. After now, we're going to make a new story out of this and then see how that goes. Thank you very much for your time, and have yourself a good night.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.